Hi guys, welcome to Bronic's Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a part 2 review of Wonder Woman. I did mine the other day, so this guy, the core, is going to be talking.
I think we're past the point of worrying about spoilers. It's been out a little while now. And
yeah, pretty much.
So spoilers from the start, but no need to go into that.
Nice one.
So, I really enjoyed it. It was nice to finally have a DC film that didn't, suck.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
And it's pretty much, I wouldn't say unanimous, but very much the mainstream.
It's got very positive kind of reviews. I think some people have got a little bit on the Kool-Aid, it's the best film ever. It's the greatest superhero film. It's
I've got that far.
Look, I really enjoyed it, but calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people were like that after Batman v Superman. Were like, Wonder Woman was the best thing in it. She was fucking amazing. She saved that film. It's
not really.
Just not really.
She wasn't as bad as she should have been in a film that was that lame.
I mean, we were kind of expecting her to be, and hands up, completely admit this. She's miles better than I thought she was going to be.
Yeah, credit where it's due.
Mainly saying that because if you watch some of our old reviews, I was a bit negative and I don't really know if she's going to pull this off. She did. I mean, she's still not my first choice. I think she could have done with somebody a bit taller and a bit kind of, I don't really want to say bulky because that sounds really weird, but in some ways I still think she wasn't quite what you'd expect from Wonder Woman, but hell, it's a comic book character. You can't get
if I can offer something along those lines, because I'm going to let you have most of the video, but if I can offer something
Go for it.
It's fine doing having actors play comic book characters even when they're not as big as that, because something like Chris Hemsworth as Thor isn't as big as the Thor in the comics, but Chris Hemsworth is a really good actor and he brought something to it. Or it was like having Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. Totally was nothing like the Ricardo Montalban character. Yeah. You're thinking of Topher's Dick up coming back.
No, I wasn't! But damn it! Not in the review.
But it didn't matter because he was such a good actor in it. It didn't matter. We were concerned because Gal Gadot, as much as she looked like her, we couldn't say, well, but she's such a good actor. We didn't have that. But having said that,
she turned in a perfectly good performance, especially considering... I mean, I know she's been in a few things beyond Fast and the Furious, but she's not a massively bankable actor. But she seems to have done pretty well. Yeah. She looked a lot better than I thought she was going to do as well, because she's, I don't know, in the Fast and Furious she was very skinny and kind of I couldn't really see her beating somebody up. But credit to her, like I say, she was really good in this. So.
And Chris Pine was quite good as well.
But I think it was a good idea, teaming her up with a pretty established kind of name actor who's got a bit of pull to him as well. So,
and he didn't carry the film as much as I assumed he would. I mean, he did to a certain degree, but not as much as I thought. She was fairly, she stood her own ground in terms of screen time. Maybe not so much acting and experience, obviously.
I know some people whinge too big a part and she should have been more her film. It's look, they were wanting to appeal to a female audience, so strangely enough, they put some eye candy in there for the girls.
Well, yeah.
It's as complicated as that. He's got a fairly recognisable name. He's, I would assume, pretty attractive to women. I don't know. I'm not gay.
Look, if you've got gay feelings, just admit
shut up.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I think people are moaning about nothing there. But yeah, he was good. She was good. It certainly felt like a Wonder Woman type story. It didn't feel like I couldn't see her doing that. Kind of like Batman v Superman again. It just felt off. This felt more or less spot on. I know they had elements of... She's one of those characters, especially when she's been around pretty much as Superman. I mean, if you're not into comics, you might not be quite as aware of her beyond the original TV series they did. But she's pretty much been around solidly since the Golden Age, pretty concisely. And... yeah, she's got a bit of a complicated background because things were kind of changed, rewritten. You have the Crisis on Infinite Earths, you have the New 52, all these kind of different reboots they've had where they've changed things. And they kind of had elements of two different origins, because initially she says she was crafted of clay and then given life by the gods, which was kind of her Silver Age, Golden Age kind of origin. And then it's revealed towards the end that she's actually the daughter of Zeus, which again is her new origin that's been described, making her... In this she's referred to as a god, but I think technically she'd be a demigod because she had a human, an Amazonian mother, because the Amazons are distinct from normal people in this film.
Yes, so I mean, like, that was fairly well explained in the film as well. You didn't really have to know much about the character to therefore know like who she is and what drives her. The film did a pretty good job of explaining to new people, who she is and what her powers are, I suppose.
Yeah, because it's kind of a clever thing of like, as it's going through it, it's like, well, initially, she's just like a hard warrior chick, and then she's like jumping huge gaps, and she's figuring out like, oh shit, I'm falling down this wall, I'm falling down this wall. Shoves her hand into the wall, like, shit, my hand's gone into the wall, and I'm actually able to grab on, like, what the fuck? And then she starts climbing. And as it goes on, it's almost like she's discovering her powers as you, as the audience, are kind of seeing them.
I noticed a few
because they
nods.
kept secret from her, like who she is, what she is, kind of thing.
Yeah, I noticed a few little nods to previous superhero films, like the bit where she's climbing up the wall. It was kind of a lesser sort of special needs version of the Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire, where he's like walking. That was just Tobey Maguire in that franchise.
Yeah, I like the initial Spider-Man films, but I wasn't a fan of Tobey Maguire either. So
well, there were a couple I've noticed. I think it was Mr. Sunday Movies that had one of his videos, or somebody did anyway, where they were talking about the sort of nods to the Christopher Reeve Superman. Like, there's the obvious one that was in a trailer where she's in the alleyway, she catches the bullet that Chris Pine was going to get. Superman did that with Lois Lane. There's also a bit where he's getting in Superman where he's going into a turnstile and he kind of like fucks it up. She does that in this. It was like a clear kind of homage to that. So a few little things then. Obviously, though, she's climbing the wall. It was filmed in a very similar kind of angle to the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that towards the end, kind of the sword gets destroyed and the shield becomes less of a thing. Because although she does use weapons sometimes in the comics, she's almost like a middle ground between Batman and Superman. She's got a lot of the Superman-like powers, though not quite as strong, not quite as invulnerable. But she's also, on top of that, got a lot of the kind of Batman-like fighting skills. I mean, she can, like, legitimately, like, stand... I mean, it's not like Batman v Superman, like, could, like, Batman give, like, Superman a decent fight? Well, maybe if he did blah, blah, blah. No, she could straight up, like, walk up to Superman, fight him, head on, like, no, like, question about it, she could do that. I mean, in the comic books, it's even happened. I mean, the two of them are, like, reasonably evenly matched. And certainly by the end of the film, that's kind of how she was going, because she was using the lasso of truth to, like, smash people around and picking up tanks and stuff, and that was pretty much kind of what you expect from her, from, like, the comics.
Yeah, so a number of this kind of basic character things that they kept as well, and like I say, they did a good job explaining to people like what that was and who it was, kind of thing. They didn't spend too much time in where she came from. Is it? I can't pronounce it.
Themyscira. It's like TH.
Alright.
Paradise Island is also actually usually referred to, but yeah, you don't see too much of Themyscira. But I don't think Steve was quite following that, but I'm pretty sure she's like banished from there, so I don't think she could go back.
I got that impression, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, oh no, they just said you might not be able to come back. It's like, no, Steve, I'm pretty sure they said she's not allowed to come back.
Yeah, because she would have gone back as well.
And that's kind of like a general thing. I'm pretty sure that happened for a while in the comics, that she was like banished from the island and kind of like alone in man's world.
Yeah, and there was some pretty good bits that they kind of brought into the First World War as well, like the bit where she goes into the trenches and stuff. I know a lot of that was in the trailers.
Yeah, in some ways, I'm kind of of two minds, because in some ways, I can kind of get that they were trying to, like, distance themselves from Captain America, the First Avenger, by having it be the First World War rather than the Second World War. But in some ways, I don't really feel they pushed the First World War angle as far as they could. Because, to be honest, if you just threw in a couple of swastikas, you could have gone, it's the Second World War, without, like, too much trouble. And that's originally, like, how she was, like, introduced. She was, punching Nazis and stuff.
Like an SJW?
No.
Punching Nazi. That's funny.
See, they were actual Nazis, because it was in Nazi Germany, not just, you're a bit right-wing, I don't agree with you.
Is that how that works? No, that's for the other channel.
But yeah, that was how, like, the character started out. Although in later iterations, they did kind of rework it a little bit, because they're trying to change it to she was only just become Wonder Woman. So it was actually her mother that had fought in the Second World War. But Wonder Woman's always had, like, a strong link to the Second World War, so it was a bit strange when they moved it to the First. But, like I say, in an out-of-universe kind of way, I can sort of understand it.
So she kind of, by the end of it, goes underground. The film as well, I like the way the film started. It was similar to Captain America, the First Avenger, where it starts out, first like couple of minutes, in the present day. She gets like a package from Wayne Enterprises, and it's a personal thing from Bruce Wayne, and it's the photograph, the original photograph that you saw in BVS.
Batman, making the BVS thing a bit more pointless, but never mind.
Yeah. And then at the end of the film, it shows, because it says, it puts something in the message like, one day you'll have to tell me your story, which kind of prompts this. This isn't her telling Bruce Wayne her story, it's just
it's more her
reminiscing.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really explain what she's been up to since the end of the First World War and her return in Batman v Superman, because in some ways, she seemed almost like she'd given up on being a hero in that film, although it's not really clear what she's doing during that film.
Yeah.
Just that she's wanting this photograph for some reason, but it's like, well, is she going around being a hero?
Yeah, there's lots of things that aren't clear about that film.
But that's not a fault on this film. And in some ways, I'm glad it didn't end with like a really dour, like, well, she did all this in the First World War, she beat Ares.
And it's all for nothing.
Because the Second World War happened and then she was really depressed and like...
Yeah, I'll be down.
So I thought maybe that's where they were going to go, that's why they moved to the First World War. Luckily they didn't. It kind of ends on the sun's coming up and she's kind of like, has a bit of a monologue and stuff, and her final kind of thoughts in the fight with Ares is like, look, there's hope for humanity. They're not perfect, but there's like goodness in them as well. Which
was kind of a theme in Man of Steel, but it was done in a very kind of depressing way, and it was like there's hope for humanity. We're just not going to say why there's hope for humanity. And a couple of little things with some like positive characters, but there wasn't really any evidence for humanity's positivity other than people are generally good. There wasn't anything uplifting.
Yeah. I mean, in this, Wonder Woman does go around and straight up kill people. But in some ways, I can kind of see why she's doing it. And it's more a case of, like, I killed this specific person because I think he's Ares, the god of war. It's my duty to kill him. And that will end all the war and bring all this all back to normal and free all the Germans and the war can end and, this kind of...
Ultimately, she learns a lesson as well from that, because it's not killing that solves things. It's a very kind of positive, philosophical way she defeats Ares. And it makes sense.
Kind of good that you mentioned that, because that kind of goes nicely into the point I was going to make. That is very Wonder Woman. There's one like quote that she has where it's something like, you fight villains, I end threats. And you could take that as like, oh, she kills people and stuff. But she kind of doesn't. She's the sort of person that beats somebody not just by like kicking their ass, but by neutralising the threat by either like helping them or, a lot of her rogues gallery she has actually like turned around and brought around to a way of like thinking or reformed in some way. She's not quite Batman, who's more about punishment. She's more about compassion and like
women, logical and shit,
Well, and certainly, I mean, there is like a weird like bondage tying up thing, like the very like original Golden Age stuff.
Shit, I need to read them.
No, it's pretty like weird, kind of really repressed at the time, but there's also quite a lot of like female empowerment in it and stuff as well. It's a bit weird. It's a bit Freudian, like, 'cause the guy had some issues, but the kind of basic idea of it was very much like there's all these male superheroes, we need like a positive female role model, like somebody who handles things a bit differently from them. And that's kind of like how this character got started, really.
Wasn't the guy who created Wonder Woman a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something?
Apparently it was like partly to like celebrate his wife and her achievements and stuff, and like the troubles she has and like things.
Didn't he invent the polygraph test? I heard that somewhere as well.
I don't know. I don't know on that one.
I don't know how true that is. It's something to do with the lasso of truth was like a nod to that. I don't know how true that is.
But they've got that, the like weird magical lasso that she's got that's unbreakable, and if it's wrapped around you, you have to tell the truth.
Yeah, Topher's got a magical lasso.
No, we're not going there.
There's glow in the dark as well.
But I mean, my final review, as like a fan of Wonder Woman, as somebody who has read some of like the better, like for example, the Gail Simone run that was really good. This felt bright to me. It didn't feel like pissed off. Didn't leave going, oh, another disappointment. It's not like, yep, here she is, like slicing people down with a sword every 5 minutes.
Did you see that
That's
picture?
ultimate badass.
There's a picture where it's basically Wonder Woman, and it looks like some kind of like post-battle thing where she's like propping up like Superman on one arm and Batman on the other, and she's holding him up, and it says, "This is the position of the DC cinematic universe right now," and it's like so true as well. I said in my other review as well. I don't want to like hijack this one, but.
No, go ahead.
Wonder Woman's not like a favourite character of mine, but in this cinematic universe, so far, she's my favourite character because she's the most. Not that I wouldn't say she's the most loyal, because I think filmmakers have artistic license rights and all that kind of stuff. But she's the most inspiring character. I like Henry Cavill and I like Ben Affleck and what they did, but the way the characters were kind of written and just what they were given was crap. Wonder Woman, pretty good performance, but very good portrayal by the director as well, female director as well.
And did a damn good job.
Yeah, because you don't really get a lot of female directors, especially of like big movies. You get them, but they're not prominently. So it's a win there.
She got a damn good performance out of Gal Gadot. So
credit where it's due.
Yeah.
So anything else?
Like I said, nothing immediately jumps to mind. I think we can wrap it up there.
Yeah, fine.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good film.
Cool. Right, well, we'll leave it there, and there'll be some more reviews coming up soon. In about a month's time, we'll probably end up doing The Amazing Spider-Man or something like that. So that's 7th of July, I think that's out over here. So
all right.
For now, we'll leave it there and say thank you very much. See you next time.